In all of the Forgotten Realms, you'll never find another dwarf quite like Jim Bob Johansson.
Hi, that's me.
He's left the life of adventuring to host this very show, brought to you by Knights of the Braille. Each week, Jim Bob goes out to round up the most interesting animals, beasts and monsters, so that you can be better prepared. So get ready for Jim Bob's Crittering time!
Hey everybody, this is Jim Bob Johansson. That's me. Back with another episode of Crittering. Today, we find ourselves in the Tashaler region, which is in the Chiltern Peninsula. It's a very heavily forested area here where we find ourselves, having just left a local little village of very nice folks. I should have to say, if you're ever coming down in here in these parts, be sure to stop by there. They're very nice and have some really good food that I enjoyed eating. Not sure what it was, but it sure did taste good. Like I was saying, this area here is very heavily forested. We have some little tiny trees and some that grow pert near 25 feet high. It's a very pretty area, and you can hear the birds and all other kind of animals up in there. But we're going to walk in there and see if we can find the very elusive Bloodhawk. We'll more about him in just a minute. But this here area that we in is in southwest Faerun. It's bordered on the west by the Hazar Mountains. Perhaps you've heard of them. They're very hazardous if you don't know what you're doing. Now the Lepal Sea is the border on the east, and the Delphin Mountains are the north border here. We're hopefully not going to have to go that far to find one of them there Bloodhawks. But you should know that these here black jungles run all the way to the Great Sea, not the Shining Sea, but to the Great Sea in the south. The River Amorous and the River Lepar are what mark the ends of the borders of this here black jungle, and that's when you're getting pert near right on top of that there Mahir jungle. Well, it depends on where you come from, but we down here in the south dwarves, we say it correctly in Mahir. You know, some of them there, other people may say Mayer, but there's no Y up in there. It's Mahir. Like you may be coming here, if you know what I mean. But that's enough about this here region. So we're going to head off into this here jungle, walking through this little trail right here, and see if we can't spot us one of them there creatures. Now, as we walk here in this jungle, I'm listening for the sounds of the elusive Bloodhawk. Now, they're really easy to spot if you can find them. And what I mean by that is they're fairly quiet, but you can see them by the color of their feathers. And that's where they get their name from. Their feathers are a crimson blood color, as though their feathers are actually made of blood. It's really interesting to see them because it looks exactly like blood, as long as your blood's red, that is. Now, their beak is what you really have to be careful about. It's a very tenacious, dagger-like beak that if it gets anywhere near you, it's liable to make you look like a blood hawk, or a blood dwarf, or a blood human, or a blood whatever kind of critter you are. These critters have been known to flock together and do what us scientists, like me, call pack tactics, which if there's one within 5 feet of another, you better get the heck out of Dodge, because it's going to be bad for you, I tell you what. Now, these creatures, like I said, are very aggressive. So, you need to be careful about them. Even though they are small, you need to be careful. They have what a scientists call an armor class of 12, which isn't really tough, but if they get a hold of you, they ain't going to be letting go. And they can be fairly healthy, but they can also be some really weak ones among the group. And that ranges anywhere from 2 to all the way to 12. Now they walk really slow, and I think I see one right here in front of us here. Oh, you can see there the beautiful red coat that they have. And thankfully he's not looking at us right now. But they walk really slow, but yet they can fly like 60 feet in 5 seconds. Something like that anyway. They have really good sight, so we're really thankful right now that he hasn't seen us, or it could be a she. I'm not really sure because I can't get a really good look there. But like I was saying, they can be really deadly if they're fighting in packs, or a flock, as we say. Now, if you was to try to look at yourself and look at them and compare the two, the comparative rating, or as we say here on this show, the CR rating, would be like a 1/8, or 25, not quite 25%, you know. A little under that. I'm not too good with that there math stuff. I leave that for the producers there. But, you know, if you were to kill one, it'd give you like 25 experience if you're an adventurer. But don't go out looking for them, because they have been known, like I said, to attack and not stop until you're bloodier than what their feathers are. And, you know, you got to be really... I think he sees us. He's looking right at us. Okay, he's coming right for us. Okay, there's like 3 or 4 of them now. I got to get out of here. I'm gonna, catch up with me at the Pit of Vipers. You know what that is. That ought to be really safe.
Do you suffer from abnormally loud foot odor? The kind where you're embarrassed to take off your shoes in public? The kind that makes the inside of a rental bowling shoe smell like roses and petunias? Maybe you're the one that everyone asks who did it in the elevator, but it's actually your foot odor seeping through your shoes? Well, fear no more, because Flintlips foot odor consumables are here. All you do is eat one of these chewables each morning, and your horrible foot odor problems are a thing of the past. They come in 4 different flavors: grape, strawberry, lime, and cherry. So, what are you waiting for? Step into a world free of foot odor. Call 1-800-442-6969 to order your risk-free trial kit today. No purchase necessary, must be 13 and older.
I got away from them. Whew. And my camera crew has caught up with me here. Whew. We're right outside the Pit of Vipers here. It should be a fairly safe location. There's a group of individuals who are, well, let me catch my breath right here. George ain't meant to run. But there's a band of villagers here that, there's lots of rainbow colors looking here. This should be really good. We should find us one of them there flying snakes here. That's the other critter that we're looking for, which is why I told everybody to go to the Pit of Vipers. Now, something you should know about the Pit of Vipers is that they are very well renowned down here in Cholt and have been used as messengers. They will carry messages coiled up in their own coils. It's very good. Some of them have been trained to do this. And usually the villagers are very nice, but occasionally you can come across occultists who do worship these here flying snakes. Now they are quite the tiny little beast here, but they are very colorful. And we see some flying back and forth here. There's some red and yellers that hopefully don't kill a feller. And there's some black and red that could mean I'm not dead. And there's some green and blue. That means it's coming after you, not me, because I'm Jim Bob Johansson. And there's a statue there. Let me try to, you can see it right there. It's, looks like kind of what some people call a totem. Perhaps this is a group of them there worshiping people that, hopefully they're not them meanings. That we don't like them. But, and they do seem to be preparing a fire and some kind of stone slab up there. Maybe they're going to be cooking something. That would be good. I'm kind of hungry after that there run. Now these here critters have an armor class of 14, which means they're a little bit tougher than other stuff, but not as tough as we'd say like a dragon. Now, they have a health which is really tiny in comparison to a lot of other creatures, and you could say that they range anywhere from, say, a 2 at the weakest, all the way up to an 8, which is the strongest, or the biggest of the flying snakes. They don't send the big ones on very far deliveries, because they just can't make it. Now, these creatures are very unique here in Faerun, as they can crawl up to 30 feet. They can fly 60 feet, which is pretty far, except for them big ones. I wouldn't think they could go quite 60 feet. And yet maybe they might have to do it in like a couple of different stages. But these critters can also swim. Yeah, that's right. They can get in the water and swim. They have a blind sight of 10 feet, which is really, really cool. They can sense stuff like on the ground. So I'm not really sure how they send them out for to send messages, but hey, they do. They obviously know what they're doing. And if you try to attack one, they'll fly away from you. They're pretty smart little critters. I'm trying to catch several of them here to give you a good view of one, but they just out of my reach. But I might want to watch out, because they do have a vicious bite on them. Their fangs can cause like 1 piercing damage, even through some armor. But it's not really their fangs you got to worry about because of that little bit of pain. You got to watch out for the poison, because they are extremely poisonous critters. And I really don't want to get bit by one, but I'm really trying to catch one here. But their CR rating is just like the Bloodhawk, and it's a 1 out of 8, like a 1/8. And they are worth, if you're an adventurer, 25 XP. Yeah, I'm fixing to see if I got one. Ow! These little fella bit me. I'm poke him in his eye and let him see what it's like. Ow! That one bit me on my butt. He bit me right in my buttocks. I'll grab him too. And let's see if I can headbutt him and really let him show what it's like to attack somebody who's just trying to be nice to them. You don't do that, you mean, ugly little... Oh, they don't like when you say ugly. They don't... Ow! I'm just gonna get out of here. Oh, I'm feeling kind of weak. Can we, let's get out of here and man. If you are interested in learning about accessible games, be sure to go to drivethrurpg.com and check out Accessible Gaming Quarterly. You can also go to www.accessiblegames.biz. Be sure to check out both of those places for information on accessible games and games that have been made accessible for the blind and low vision community. Hey everybody, I'm feeling a little weak here, and my camera guy tells me that we're in something called the Blood Cave. I've got several bite marks on me, and who thankfully I am a dwarf and I have a really strong will. Hopefully here in the cave we can get something that's not quite so vicious in the sturge. They're a tiny little critter that have a natural armor of that allows them to be strong enough for an AC of 14. And I'm really sorry if I here, give me some of that there water right there. Alright. Yeah, man, I feel a little bit better here now. Now, something that you need to know about these here sturges is that they're not very healthy because they're anywhere from 1 to 4 HP, which awfully thirsty here now. Maybe that there snake poison makes you thirsty, you know. But anyway, they aren't very like healthy if you know what I mean. Now these here creatures, if we can find one, they're like a grayish color and blend in with like stones and all very good. So it's what we call in the South like camouflage, or if you're, you know, from some of the more sophisticated regions, it's camouflage, you know. But they can walk like 10 feet and they can fly like 40 feet. So, yeah, they're not quite them ugly, mean snakes from before, but they can fly about 40 feet, which is pretty good. They need to use these here things. I wish you see something on me biting me. I feel like there's some of them there skeeters or something bite me. I feel a little weak, but these here sturges are known for blood sucking and, you know, attacking in packs. Very rarely do they, you know, fight one-on-one because they're so weak. They need to fight in numbers. Ooh, I'm starting to feel a little lightheaded. Maybe I need to get me some of that drink down there at the local tavern. But these little critters, they can see up to 60 feet in darkness, and they also have a CR rating of and notes here say 1/8, and yeah, I sure wish I could find one, and they have an XP of 25. Some people say that you can't really see them, that you only feel them biting you, and then as they drain your blood, you get really sleepy. This has been brought to you by Knights of the Braille, a group of tabletop role-play gaming enthusiasts. If you would like further information on the Knights of the Braille, be sure to check out our website at www.knightsofthebraille.com. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Check out all of the links below, and thank you once again for listening.